All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got some further instructions for you with regard to some of what you just heard. So I gave y'all an instruction that if this witness provided testimony that was inconsistent with a guilty plea admission, that you could accept that guilty plea admission as substantive evidence against any of these defendants. But then what we heard was that this witness pled guilty in 2017 to that being a part of that 2015 drive-by shooting. But and we heard kind of a factual basis that the prosecutor in that guilty plea had read before the court, or somebody had read before the court, as a part of what Ms. Love was asking questions about, and she was, kind of reading it from a transcript. All right, here's the thing, is that guilty plea, as I think you heard this witness say, he entered that because he believed it to be in his best interest to do that. And this gets into a whole lot of kind of legal terminology and legal concepts, but there are a couple of different ways that somebody can say, yes, I'm pleading guilty to a crime. And one of them is called an Alford plea. It's just named after a case called Alford. But they're essentially saying, I am going to plead and accept that I'm guilty of this crime, but I am not saying that the facts that the state's putting forward are true. I am just saying I think it's in my best interest to go ahead and resolve it that way. So everything that you heard is, and that is totally legitimate to do that. And let me also say that Mr. Wright, who was representing this witness at the time, he let the court at that time in 2017 know, hey, this is an Alford plea. He's doing this because it's in his best interest, he believes, to do this. And Mr. Sledge was under no obligation after his attorney said that to, even if he got an opportunity to say anything else, to say, yeah, what my lawyer said, to add anything whatsoever to that. So I think there was a question about that, and he didn't, he didn't say anything else. He had no obligation to. He had no requirement to. He had no responsibility to, okay? So basically what I told you about, oh, you can take those facts and those admissions and consider it against him or anybody else in this trial. When it's an Alford plea, you cannot. So none of that I said was actually true about what you just heard about those 2017 guilty plea to the 2015 drive-by shooting, okay? So let me think what else. Oh, and you also need to completely disregard that anybody other than this witness right here, Mr. Sledge, might have pled to anything that had to do with that drive-by shooting, all right? So just entirely erase that from your minds. And I also, at this point, am going to admonish and rebuke you, Ms. Love, to pay careful attention to how you ask questions and to what you put before the jury. You should not have put that factual rendition before the jury as anything that this witness admitted to at the time of the 2027 guilty plea. And I'm going to instruct you to refrain from asking improper questions.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Anything in addition that anybody needs to put before the court right now with regard to those curative instructions? All right. All right, go ahead, Ms. Love.
Mr. Sledge. Would you tell the jury, just one moment.
Sure.
whether you are familiar with a person by the name of Antonio Sumlin, who goes by the name Obama.
I know of him.
How do you know of him?
Just seeing him around.
Have you ever have you ever hung
We probably
out
been in the
with?
same. We probably been in the same vicinity, but I never hung with him. He never been in a car with me. He never nothing like that.
What about Martinez Arnold?
Yes, I know Martinez.
How long have you known him?
I've been knowing Martinez on it's been a minute. I can't actually tell you how long, but it's been a minute.
Is he a person that you know who also answers to the name Duke?
Yes.
All right. Is Martinez Arnold YSL?
He's an artist of YSL.
Okay. And what about Antonio Sumlin? Is he YSL?
I can't tell you yes or no to that answer.
Now, putting aside matters in 2017, as they relate to December 28th, 2022, at any point, did you make an assertion while speaking with the state through your attorney that YSL is not a gang?
I don't think I made it in that plea agreement, but in 2015, okay, right.
In 2022, December 28th, 2022, at any point, did you assert that YSL is not a gang?
No.
At any point, did you assert that YSL members, that you are unaware of 3 or more YSL members who have committed crimes intended to increase the notoriety, street credibility, and reputation of YSL? At any point, did you make that assertion?
I don't remember.
Is there anything that would refresh your memory?
Yes, if you have anything that can refresh my memory.
What do you believe would refresh your memory?
I can't say. Whatever you have. If I can look at it or go over it, and then I can.
Yeah. Would looking at 444Y refresh your memory?
Yes.
Your factual acknowledgments, okay. Approaching the witness with 444Y.
All right.
Have you had a chance to review it?
Yes.
Does it refresh your memory?
Yes.
Okay. So at any point, did you assert that YSL is not made up of 3 or more members or associates who have committed crimes to increase the reputation of YSL?
I misunderstood that question because from our understanding, y'all say 3 or more people that commit a crime is a gang.
Why do you keep tying the state's understanding to your answers?
Because that's my understanding. You can't. That's my understanding. When I was arrested, that's what Gator and Dennis, not the state. I'm sorry, Detective Gator and Dennis provided us with, which they probably misled us.
And so when you say that's what they provided us with, what does whatever it is that you're speaking of have to do with your acknowledgement that YSL is made up of 3 or more people who've committed crimes for YSL? What does one thing have to do with the other?
I don't know, Ms. Love. I don't know.